The hamstring. There's three hamstring muscles: the biceps femoris, the semitendinosus, and the semimembranosus. Again, don't worry about attachment. Get a good familiarity of where they do attach. It will help you understand the function of the muscle itself. So anyhow, make it simple. The common attachment site for the hamstring muscles, the three muscles, are the ischial tuberosity. As you can see, I'm holding the leg here. It looks from an anterior view. Hopefully it won't fall apart on me. Okay, so here's the posterior view. So here's your ischial tuberosity, your sit bone. They come off this bone and they come down in the back of the leg. And the biceps femoris travels laterally and attaches right to the fibular head, right here. The short head of the bicep comes off the femur and joins that long head of the biceps femoris into a common tendon into the fibular head. So there's your lateral hamstring. The medial hamstring comes down. The semimembranosus comes behind the knee and attaches right behind the patella, right behind onto the tibia. Medial aspect of the tibia, posterior medial aspect of the tibia, and the semitendinosus comes down and wraps and patches right into the pes anserine, which is anterior medial of the tibia. So you can see as those muscles come down, they sweep behind the knee and attach just like this. You can follow along on the pictures that I included in the manual to get a good appreciation of how those muscles have that transverse plane form to the muscle. Alright, so obviously we believe the hamstring flexes the knee, and it does when the foot's not fixed, and we contract the hamstring, it flexes the knee. However, when the foot is fixed on the ground, if we flex the hip, the hamstring gets eccentrically lengthened in the sagittal plane, and then concentrically contract the hamstring, and it'll extend the hip or assist in the extension of the hip, sagittal plane. If your foot is fixed, then contraction, this is going to get you a little confused, and we'll talk about it in the seminar. The foot is fixed on the ground, the hip is flexed forward, it gains tension on the hamstring. When the hamstring contracts, it extends the knee. So you're not going to find that in a book somewhere. Well, maybe you will. Maybe people are coming around. But anyway, it will extend the knee. That's not that it should assist in extension. It shouldn't be dominant in knee extension. That gets into some compensation syndromes that we won't cover in level 1. That's a level 3 course. So again, eccentrically load with hip flexion, and then concentrically extend the hip, and concentrically extend the knee. All right, you won't be tested on the knee extension, but know that in the sagittal plane, that's what it does. And you can kind of experiment with it. Due to the lack of ability with the video camera, I can't explain that on myself, but I will show you and I'll have you all do it in the seminar again. Hopefully that seminar is going to be, I'm hyping it up. So anyway, sagittal plane, that's the function of the hamstring. Transverse plane, it plays a role on the tibia. So if the hamstrings contract, the medial hamstring contract, it will actually internally rotate the tibia on a fixed femur. It's very, very subtle. It's not a lot of movement, not like I just did because of the passive restraints. Biceps femoris, lateral rotation of the tibia. Okay, so that's all integrated motion. All right. Frontal plane, obviously, the medial hamstrings are a little bit of an adductor, and the lateral hamstrings a little bit of an abductor. So abduction, lateral hamstring; adduction, medial hamstring. In the sagittal plane, they play a role in that tibia. So whatever that foot does mechanically, remember when we talked about the calf, the internal rotation, the external rotation of the tibia, that involves a muscular component of the kinetic chain, all right, and it has an influence on up through. And when we get into the exercises and things like that, you'll appreciate it more, the functional flexibility. Stay tuned to the week number 3, and we'll give a good demonstration on how you stretch the hamstrings and how you load that. There's our hamstrings, functional component, eccentric deceleration, concentric acceleration.